guys, it's Starting to Geek, and I'm here with my first reaction after the first full week of the DC CW verse. So if you don't know, DC right now is only on CW, so TW has kind of the monopoly of all of the shows, and you can definitely tell that they are creating like this big story picture. In fact, that my title for the episode for today is about the Justice League, because I have a theory that's going on. But yeah, so this is my reaction, kind of my thoughts heading into this first season, with all of the shows that they have being on the same channel. So first off, I didn't get to do a reaction to The Flash, so I'll talk about the Flash reaction and my thoughts. So I went into The Flash knowing some about Flashpoint. If you follow the blog, I actually posted this morning, something that I wrote last week as part of the intro into Flashpoint, the history. I watched a really good video about the history of the comics. It's really fascinating. So I thought Flashpoint would last probably maybe half a season, if that, maybe only a couple of episodes. Definitely was very disappointed to see that the actual Flashpoint event got resolved in an episode. I feel like they should have drawn that out at least a couple of episodes. I would have loved to see that world a little bit more, maybe see what Oliver was up to in that world, see exactly all of the impact of it. I do understand why, because they don't have Batman or Wonder Woman or the comics to kind of explain that world a little more. It was just Barry and his stuff. So I'm kind of glad. I'm also glad to see that the ending of the episode, if you've seen the episode or if you want to, my lamp just completely fell. But if you've seen that world, I'm wearing my Camp Half-Blood shirt. Try to brace this lamp. It helps with a little more light. If you've seen this world, you know that the Flashpoint event actually happened, or if you've seen the episode, you know that the Flashpoint got resolved, sort of. We've gone back to the original timeline, but there have been consequences. I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see that it's continuing. I hope that it even continues even more past that event, and hopefully will I don't know, be a continuous thing going on. But yeah, I don't know. That's going to be exciting for me. I don't know. My predictions for the season, I find it really fascinating that we don't know who the bad guy is. I assume that the bad guy for this season is Alchemy. I don't know anything about Alchemy. I know what Alchemy is. Alchemy is transfiguring things. If I would have to surmise, I would say that Alchemy has something to do with the idea that Alchemy can control the timeline, maybe, or he can kind of cause events, if he's a time master, not the time masters as in Legends of Tomorrow, but a time going on. I don't know. It'll be really interesting. I know by some people talking about that Tom Felton's character is going to make an appearance in tonight's episode. So apparently he's going to be replacing Iris on Team Flash, and he's another CSI. So I bet that's going to be another consequence. Maybe Barry doesn't have quite so much power, or maybe he has more power as a CSI now. He has an assistant or something. I don't know. This should be very fascinating. We still don't know enough to kind of make predictions, because obviously there has not been enough to predict upon. The next show was, and I also to also say that I also loved the Flash premiere. I thought it was funny. I thought it was cleverly done. I liked seeing Barry kind of be happy that somebody else is a hero, because he didn't sign up into this. He just kind of got thrust in this role. He's not Oliver, who kind of came back with that destiny in mind. He just kind of was well, we have all of these evil metahumans, and I am the only one that apparently is good, so guess it's my job to help, kind of deal. Another prediction for the season, I assume the Reverse Flash will be back. He had that omnibus in line, so I assume he's going to be back and is going to be messing around with he's the reason why everything's crazy or not. So then the next show was Arrow. Arrow premiere was really, really good. there were a lot of things. I liked Flash better, merely because I don't think it's quite as funny as Arrow, and I like the humor. But yeah, no, it's really good. I don't know, I like seeing him as mayor, because he's able to do things. I couldn't remember that he was actually mayor at the end of last season, because I was curious to see how he was going to get all this money to fund his works as the Arrow. Glad to see that. Glad to see Detective. There's too many detectives in shows that I watch, but the detective back. I don't know. Oh, Detective Lance. I had to think about it. I don't know what else is going to go on. Again, it's kind of like that was a good intro. We know that there's another Archer. I've heard rumors and thoughts that it's going to be Tommy Merlin. I would love it if it was Tommy Merlin. Like, I don't know. I think that would be awesome. It would be full circle. And it would definitely play back into that this is the, like, they went into the show obviously hoping that there was going to be 5 seasons. No matter how big success, hoping there's going to be 5 seasons. The show obviously has exceeded their original expectations. It will probably continue on past 5 seasons. So especially since this was the original thought, maybe hopefully they'll kind of tie in Tommy, and have him like be kind of bad, like he's trying to fix Oliver. I don't know. It's gonna be exciting to see, or like maybe it's Thea, or somebody crazy like that. People will be like, oh, Thea doesn't have the body. Well, there's things called padding and shaping and stuff. But yeah, no, that's gonna be interesting to see. I definitely am on the side with the fact that the new team is going to be taking over the mantles of the other characters. The reason why is because if you know anything about the comics, that's kind of what happens, is people take up the mantles. So that's probably going to happen. So probably, obviously, the young girl is going to become Black Canary. I don't know who's going to become Jiggle's character, persona. I can't remember his name. It's been a while. I don't know. I have a feeling. And I have a feeling Curtis, honestly, it would be quite funny if Curtis became Black Canary. But it's probably not going to happen. So I think Curtis is probably going to become Speedy. Or the other guy is going to become Speedy. So, I don't know. Be interesting to see. I like that kind of dynamic. I like the fact that Curtis is also going to become, officially part of Team Arrow. He's been a part of Team Arrow for a couple episodes now, about half a season now, and he definitely has, the heart that Oliver would be looking for in a character. That heart of that passion of, I need to do something. The thing I like about it is it's not more of I'm kind of put into something like Flash. It's more of this drive, I'm defenseless, I'm only human, but I need to do something. It's kind of like Batman in that sense of, we need to do something. This is a city. Doesn't matter if we have powers or not. We need to help. Drive. I say a lot, but I don't know what else to say about Arrow. The one thing I don't like about the first episode of Arrow is this whole persona he had of waiting for his team to come back. If you know anything about the Green Arrow, I know a little bit about the Green Arrow to know the point that the Green Arrow is kind of like Batman. He operates alone, except sometimes he has a team or friends. And I feel like he's become too dependent on his team. He doesn't feel very Green Arrow-y to me. So I hope that they kind of get away from that and he can kind of go off on his own and stuff. I've heard thoughts that the Brava stuff is going to come back. It's going to relate really close to the present. I hope it does. I'm excited to see all of that. It's definitely something, a fascinating side of Oliver. Not to sneeze. Sorry. But yeah, no, I hope that was a very dainty sneeze. I hope to see that's going to happen. So then the last one, obviously we have not seen Legends of Tomorrow yet. That's going to be premiere this week. I'll maybe update my theory. What I'm trying to get to is this Justice League theory. I do know that they're going to do the League of Justice, which is this future, or something along those lines, which is kind of why I'm thinking that they're leading into a Justice League. And then we had Supergirl, which if you want to know my reaction to Supergirl, I have another video on my channel about my pre-reactions and my post-reactions. Amazing. I thought it was so much fun. I couldn't stop smiling. It was like the Flash premiere. The Flash premiere, I did record that, my reaction to that. I'm pretty sure. No, I don't think I did. I did something with the Flash premiere, I think. But I screamed like 5 times during my Flash reaction. Like when I was watching it. I screamed. It was awesome. I didn't scream during Supergirl. But I had like this giant smile on my face the entire time. Like I loved it. I loved the funniness. Like it was just clever. And CW was rocking that that show. So that brings me up to my theory. So if any of you guys don't know that the Arrow is having like the Doctor. Arrow is having its 100th episode. It's going to be the 8th episode premiered, so 7 more episodes. And apparently it's going to be a massive crossover for all 4 shows. So it'll be, I don't know what week, it'll be like 7 for Supergirl, 7 for Legends, 8 for Flash as well. Episode. Don't know what order they're going to premiere in, if it's going to be start with Arrow maybe first or anything like that. They haven't not released any trailer for it. That's what I'm thinking. So there's multiple things that I find interesting. One, they haven't released any trailer for it. I know it's still 8 weeks away, but that's enough time that you know, like they started advertising, I think, about this time for the big crossover last year. So there's something that they're trying to keep hidden about the crossover. I know that surmising that Moira Queen is going to be back for the crossover. For Arrow, at least part of that. And I know that there's going to be a mysterious character back for Arrow. I have a theory. I was talking to my friend last night, and I think this is what's going to happen. I have a feeling they're going to have a Justice League episode. So, like, all 4 shows leading into the Justice League. Hear me out. So, with the addition of Supergirl onto the CW network, this is not including that whole alternate timeline, alternate universe, because that can be easily fixed. We have Superman, Supergirl, John Jones, Martian Manhunter. We've got Green Arrow. Hopefully, possibly another character from Green Arrow. Obviously, at this point, he's going to have his assistants. All the Legend of Tomorrow characters. And the Flash. Maybe Wally West at that point. Don't know. All within the same crossover. That's a lot of characters. And those are a lot of Justice League characters. Don't know if they're going to include like Superman or outlining. Even if they don't include like all the extra characters, you've still got 5. Like you've got the Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, and the Legends of Tomorrow's characters, which are, you know, obviously multiple characters. That's very Justice League-y, if you know anything. I have a feeling it's going to be the Justice League. I don't know if this is going to be like a permanent thing, if this is going to be like the actual Justice League, or if it's just going to be temporary. So what's making me think that is also the idea that Legends of Tomorrow is going to be dealing with a form of the Justice League. And as far as the commercials, they're going to deal with like the League of Justice or something, not Justice League, but like a kind of another version of that in the future. So that might spawn their idea of getting the Justice League together. I don't know. So here's my theory. So you've got all of that stuff going on. It would be awesome for a massive, massive crossover, and it's a 100th anniversary of this world that they've created to have kind of a Justice League going on, whether they like kind of make a joke about the Justice League or not. But I don't know. And also that mysterious character. So I'm really curious. So if we've had any kind of reference, we had our first reference to Gotham. So if you don't watch Supergirl, if you are a Arrow fan and you don't watch Supergirl last night obviously introduced Clark Kent for the first time as Superman, and also referenced Gotham. And I thought that was very interesting. It was a one-liner. It also referenced Gotham. I don't know if they're going to bring in Batman. I heard a rumor, it ended up being like an April Fool's prank, that they were going to bring Jensen Ackles in as Batman. But what if that was true? What if they are going to bring in somebody to play Batman? At this point, we have Ra's al Ghul, who is Batman's trainer. We've had a reference to Batman, to Gotham. So I'll be curious if they're going to bring him in, maybe just for this story arc, and have, like, actual, no, he wouldn't be able to get his own series, obviously, because they have the Gotham on another channel. But to have him in the show, I don't know. I think that would be really interesting to see if they are leading up to a Justice League and what they're going to do with it. Because if they're going to create like a Justice League, they can't have it just for this crossover stuff. They need to have like some kind of like story arc or something, whether it's a continuation of like maybe the second half of the season is just Justice League. Like each episode is a part of Justice League filmed on the channels. That would be awesome. Don't know how that would work, but you know, you could have some kind of connection going on or playing off of it and references and stuff. If they're gonna film like maybe another crossover the next season with Justice League, being able to kind of play off of that and see that would be really cool. And I don't know, maybe with Flashpoint it brought Supergirl's world into the regular world. I don't know how they're gonna fix that. They need to fix that. Which was brought out because it was on a different channel at the time. Like, I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see what exactly is going on in that world. I don't know. It'll be really, really interesting. So that's my theory, is that they're leading up into a Justice League. We'll probably find out more going up into the season. So like last year we had the Hot Girl stuff kind of preemptive leading into it. Don't know if they're going to do that this year. Hopefully they are. But yeah, so hopefully it's going to be a Justice League crossover. So just post your comments below. Do you think they're leading up to a Justice League crossover? I think I'm completely off base. Do you think Batman is going to make an appearance in the episode? Post your comments below and let me know. And don't forget to subscribe to my blog. That's at Starting to Geek blog at wordpress.com. I will be posting updates about different geek stuff, and we'll also be able to tie in with my reactions to the current shows going on that I watch. Shows like that. I do have a Star Wars Rebels recorded. That's going to be my attempt at an actual blind reaction video. Hopefully I can get that working. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not too tech savvy, so hopefully that will work as well as it can. So don't forget to subscribe. So let me know what you think.